Hi, I'm Brandon, and today I'm gonna talk about the Mudéjar art. First, to understand a little bit of the history of the Mudéjar art, it's necessary to understand a little bit about the history of the Iberian Peninsula. In the year 711, some parts of Spain and Portugal were invaded by some troops sent by the Umayyad Caliphate, who was at the time one of the most important caliphates in the Muslim history, and he was at his peak, so he extended from Morocco to Pakistan. It was that large, his power. He was responsible for one of the most problematic times in Spanish history, but also one of the most important cultural revolutions in this country. He profoundly influenced the language, the architecture, the art, and everything. For 7 centuries, Spain tried to regain his territory. This was known as the Reconquista, and in 1492, the last Muslim was defeated in Spain, in Granada. Now the Muslims that lived in Spain were tolerated culturally because of the Treaty of Granada, which had been signed in 1491. Despite the fact that many Muslims were forced to become Catholic, many of them were able to preserve their religious background, and these people are known as the Mudéjar. Although the Mudéjar people weren't really known in that period, they were known until the 15th century, but their art and influence were known in Spain around the 11th century. Since that time, they were relevant culturally. This was the result of the coexistence of Moorish and European people from Europe. Some aspects of the Muslim architecture and design were incorporated into the dominant European styles, such as the Romanesque, the Gothic, and the Renaissance. The Mudéjar was a reinterpretation of the European design by Islamic people. Some of the most obvious features borrowed from Muslims are the use of geometrical patterns, intricate tile and brickwork, and the use of calligraphy as means of decoration. Although many of the early Mudéjar buildings were built by Muslims themselves, the techniques and style were copied by Spanish people, and soon they were incorporated into Spanish architecture style. Mudéjar art spread across all of Spain, most parts of this country at least, but some areas in specific were very influenced by this style, and now they are the home of these landmarks of Mudéjar art and architecture. The most notable is perhaps the region of Aragon, where there are countless examples of this art with buildings that have been awarded with the UNESCO World Heritage because of its universal value. One of the most notable buildings is the Cathedral of Santa Maria de Mediavilla de Teruel. The tower, the roof, and the dome all form part of the UNESCO's World Heritage. The temple was constructed on top of Santa Maria de Villanueva Church. It has 3 stonework and brick naves. As a result of the enlargement of the old Romanesque church in 1171, Joseph de Moor directed the work that consisted in replacing Romanesque apses with Gothic Mudéjar apses. Which can be still seen in the main chapel. The Mudéjar tower dates back to the 13th century, with a small passageway covered with a barrel vault that leads to the street. The base of the building is squared, with 3 main sections that are decorated with tiles of ceramic. The covered and frameworked central nave is representative of this period, as well as having an amazing decorative and architectural value. It measures 32 meters long and dates back to the 14th century. The central nave dome dates back to the 16th century. This is an incredible cathedral for what I've seen. It's amazing, it's a beautiful work of art. It really leaves you thinking that everything began with an invasion, and one of the most terrible things that could happen to Spain is also one of the most important in this cultural aspect. So everything that is mixed or brought from somewhere else, it's something that we have to appreciate. So if you ever have the chance, or if I ever have the chance to go to Spain, we have to go and see this cathedral, because that's something that you have to do with pretty much every place that you visit. To go and see the church, because these are amazing architectural achievements, and you can see a lot of history just represented in the, even in the tiles, in the small details, you can see a lot of history. It carries a lot of meaning and it carries a lot of value. So we have to preserve these buildings, whether you're religious or not. They are very important to the human race. Well, that's it for today. I hope for the rest of the year, I hope you learned something, or and you understood everything I said. And yeah, we'll see each other next time. Bye.